Hi there, it's Wise here, back at you bringing you some wise words. And what is good with you? What's good with you? Hopefully, everything. I know it's everything. I know it's everything. I wanted to talk to you about something. You ready? What do you want to talk about? Planning. 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 Got a plan. Got a plan. I got a great plan. You guys, any of you old enough to remember 18? No? No, I'm not talking about the new movie. There's an old TV show in the 80s, the 18. Look it up. Hannibal. I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when a plan comes together. One of the ways I live my life, one of the ways that I think a lot of people that have been extremely successful, at least from what I've read, what I've researched, is the way that they live their life. Plan your work and work your plan. It's very, very, very important. I once asked and saw a question. I was looking for the answer, and I'm glad it came to me. Does even a bad plan work over time work? And the answer I got, that bad plans have the tendency to become good plans the longer you work them, as long as you keep working them. So, plan your work and work your plan. So, this is twofold. One, why to plan. Two, how to plan. Start with the why. Everybody wants to know the why. You gotta know the why. You gotta know the why. Give me a why. Give me a reason. The reason is whatever you plan for is what you usually get. Inspect what you expect. So if you plan your things and you work your plan, you plan your work, then you start to inspect your plan to see where you are. So that's what it's meant by even if you have a bad plan, as long as you continue to inspect it, and if it's not what you expect, then you can start to work your plan in a different way. There's a lot of different ways to do this. The why, though, is that whatever you plan for, or in most cases, lack to plan for, will usually come to fruition. Case in point, your words will dictate your life. You'll hear a lot of people say things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or I'm not made of money, or I can't afford that, whatever it might be. You hear it, you've heard it, parents, grandparents, whatever it may have been. Or even, it can't be done, you shouldn't be doing it that way. It could be anything. As far as with me, I fast for 24 hours, 2 days a week. A lot of people are like, oh, I couldn't do that. Or I've also been vegan now for about 7 years. A lot of people, oh, I couldn't do that. My my personally, I believe one of my biggest feats is giving up video games. I've had a video game system consecutively in my household or possession for 3 decades, 30 years. So I got rid of that, and that was probably my biggest shining moment for myself because I thought I would play video games until I couldn't use my thumbs anymore. So there are a lot of ways that you can put a plan into action. People will look at me and say, oh, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. That's what they really meant to say. I don't want to do that. There's something inside of you that you have to stoke. It's a want, it's a flame, a desire. It's what your soul is burning for, passion. It could be anything in life. Once you know what turns you on, not in that way. What do you know? Once you know whatever it is that fires you up, you can start using that to galvanize yourself to put things into a plan. Because the way that people talk, the way that people think, when they say I can't do that or I won't do that, that's what tends to happen. Your mind starts to galvanize. It won't do that. It can't do it. And then instantly, there's a bit of a battle that goes on between your mind, heart, and spirit. Your heart and spirit knows that you can do something. It knows that you can do anything because you're boundless, you're infinite. Outside of that, though, your mind is the only thing that puts constrictions on what it is that you can and cannot do. So once you say, I can't do this or I don't want to do this, then the body, the mind, the spirit all go into this, well, can we do it? Do we want to do it? So on and so forth. It's like this inner debate, and there's turmoil due to the fact that your heart and spirit knows you can do it. Your mind puts the damper on things, and that's usually what stops people. At the same time, if you put a plan into action, if you put a plan into action to make the mental fortitude, the forefront of your focus, and put that into whatever it is you're looking to ascertain, and write down, okay, this is why I need a plan. I need a plan due to the fact that this is what I want to ascertain. In order for me to get it, there's steps that I need to sequentially take in order to get there. I would love to take the giant step to get there initially. However, that is full of pitfalls and risks and aversions that I'm looking to avoid at this point. And it could be anything, losing weight quick is, in comparison to losing it the old fashioned way to exercise and proper eating, or get rich quick schemes, so on and so forth. The list goes on and on. What I can say is, once you have a plan on where you want to get, things become easy. It leads us to now just working the plan, and it goes from why to plan, question one, to how to plan. And what I would say about how to plan is, first you have to start out with the end goal, whatever it is you're looking to ascertain. So I love using tons and tons of different little stories to tie back whatever it is I'm talking about. So tying why to plan and how to plan. Why to plan. Think if you wanted to build a house or a car, anything, you wanted to start from scratch. If you went into it with no plans, just went into it all hunky dory, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, got the raw materials, and you're ready to start building this house or building this car, whatever the situation might be, and you start doing it, and you're into it, you start realizing, a lot of this stuff isn't going together. This would go a lot easier if I had a diagram, or if I had some way that I knew that I wanted to put it together, like a puzzle, so on and so forth. Same thing with the house. Let's say a bunch of people came together, you have the raw materials, you have the wood, the 2x4, so on and so forth, the drywall. They come, they're ready to put it together, and they just start going with no plans. Imagine what that house is going to look like. Adversely, how to plan. How to plan. Get an architect for your house. Get a advanced mechanic, or just go buy a car to get your car built correctly the way that you want it built. And it's the same thing with how to plan. Whatever it is you're looking to plan for, starting with the end goal, follow. Whatever you're looking to plan for, there's probably someone that's already ascertained that in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you have to take some elements from some other category and then apply them to another category, and that's called being innovative. Whatever the case may be, whatever it is you're looking to get in life, the how to plan has to be wrapped up in the why you're planning. Why am I going for this? What it is that I want to ascertain. So say that you're looking to get that house. So how do I plan for the house? I go get an architecture, or I go to a company that's already building houses, or maybe I buy a prefabricated house. There's so many different options. You have to again start with that end goal and make sure that that end goal is crystal clear. Well, I want to have a cabin loft somewhere in the Aspen area that has 2 acres, and I would like it to have a beautiful kitchen, granite countertops, marble in the bathroom, so on and so forth. The more, and I won't say elaborate, the more detailed you can get, the better off you are. It's only you that can decide what you get out of life and what life will give you. And the how, like I said, is wrapped up in the what and the why. So that house, that car, the relationship, that new piece of music that you're learning, whatever it is, make a plan. Plan your work and then work your plan. Lay out the steps that you need to do to ascertain whatever it is that you're looking to get, and then follow it and stick to it. Make sure that you have the wherewithal. Tell yourself you can do it. A lot of people will run out of gas. Some people will even give up before the race has even started. And what I say to a lot of my friends when they ask me, how is it that you still keep pushing, you keep, even, I'm 31, I don't feel like running or working out or anymore. I'm 40 and I don't really think that it's any good for me to go to yoga at this point because my back already hurts, and so on and so forth. A lot of people, like I said, they'll throw in a towel. And then there's a huge group of people, and I feel like this group of people is growing, that will look inside themselves and say, hey, what is it that I'm made of? What is it that I'm looking to get out of life? Am I willing to make a plan to get it? And am I willing to stick to that plan long enough to get what I want? It's all about making sure the goals that you set for yourself, you ascertain. You know, fake it until you make it. Fake it, my friend. Just remember to make it. Remember to make plans. Remember the why behind that plan, the what behind that plan, and the how behind that plan. Once you start doing that, once you start planning for things, the things that you plan for tend to start coming to fruition. So make sure your plans are detailed. Make sure they're your plans. Make sure that what you want out of life. There are people in your life, family, friends, children, acquaintances, that all have different aspirations of their own and different reasons and ways that you play into their life. With that being said, make sure that you do yourself a favor and make sure that yourself is happy. It's going to be so hard to please everybody that's in your circle. And at the same time, it's going to be really easy to emanate love, peace, and happiness if you fill yourself with love, peace, and happiness. So, plan your work your plan, remember the why, remember the how, stick to the what, you'll get there. I promise. It's really up to you, though. As always, from here at the Wise Tribe, infinite love, infinite peace, infinite wisdom.